Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sapana Bania Rai here. Today, I'm going to present about the accounting for income tax. In this presentations, I will describe the use of corporate account for income taxation issue. This presentation is based on my report made for the assignment. The main purpose of the assignment is that it gives the clear understanding and knowledge about the taxations. Also, it will define the accounting policies and the procedure which will actually aim to present all the various issues which are being faced by the company. My assignment is divided into three different sections. Firstly, I'll give some introductions about the report. Secondly, I'll describe the body parts where I have been answered the 9 different questions which have been asked, and then finally I'll conclude all the reports and then give some suggestions and recommendations about the study. And then after I have listed some references where I have been found all the resources to make this report. Now let's move on introduction. The report will consist of various accounting theories which will help in leading to a particular objectives of a firm. In this report, I have used ADX Company Limited to evaluate. In this case, I have researched the last 2-year taxes and data of ADXL Energy Company. Also, all the tax treatment will be done to evaluate the ADXL Company Limited. Moving forward in the body parts, to answer the question number 1, I have given clear descriptions about accounting profit, taxable profit, temporary differences, taxable temporary differences, deductible temporary differences, deferred tax assets, and deferred tax liabilities. To describe about the deferred tax assets and deferred tax liabilities, they arise out of timing differences. Deferred tax assets are the overpayment of the tax on the income of the company after meting out all the expenses from it, whereas the deferred tax liabilities is the obligations on the part of the company for the taxes that have been paid in less and the liabilities is more. Defining about the expenses of ADX Energy in 2019 is $47,952. The tax rate applicable of the company is 30%, which is calculated based on the provision of income tax. Looking at the company's tax rate, and the income tax expenses of the ADX Energy Limited is $47,952, which is similar as the company's tax rate. Uses of different valuation method in the company and their reconciliations which is being followed by ADX Energy Limited towards its tax expenses and the accounting profit. The main reason behind the same figure is that ADX Energy is 100% owned Australian subsidiaries and they do not have a particular tax group. Let's look at the deferred tax assets and deferred tax liabilities. Under the deferred tax assets, tax losses, these are the losses which are being saved by the ADX Energy Limited towards the future payments, which is recorded on the asset side of the balance sheet as it is a fixed amount which will be carried in the future till they are being paid, whereas under the deferred tax liabilities, assets retirement obligations are the obligations and responsibilities of the business which are to be paid at the time of retirement to the employees. Is recorded in the liabilities column of the financial statement or the balance sheets. As per the annual report of ADX Energy Limited, both current tax assets and income tax payable are being recorded in financial statement. Both incomes tax payable and income tax expenses are different from each other. It is because both the theories are used under the taxation guidelines. Income tax expenses is an amount used in asset, whereas income tax payable is that value which is being generated from the income and revenues being earned by the company. According to the statistic of ADX company, the income tax expenses and income tax paid of the ADX company has a huge difference, where the income tax expenses are greater. These tax expenses are being recorded at the end of the accounting period in the income statement, where all the expenses and income are being shown. The tax which has been paid have a particular date on which it has to be made. Now, let's move on temporary differences and the permanent differences of the company. Temporary differences is the differences between the carrying values of the assets and the liabilities that would be reserved in the future, whereas the permanent differences are created when some items are not allowed to be deducted from the profits of the company as per the tax legislation. According to the report of ADX company, they don't have any permanent differences in the financial report. After doing all the research, I find that the financial statement of the company perform different roles according to the policies of the company, and the companies always work according to the needs and the wants of the shareholders. The treatment of the tax is to fulfill the mandatory obligations of the company. Also, this study helped me to understand income tax issues and help in preparing the liabilities for the company. To recommend, the company should maintain the profitability with the help of treating the expenses and the income tax expenses and the liability. To conclude, all the work defined and the concept of different types of profit which have actually made it easy for the ADX Energy Limited to select and apply the best strategy which will help them to generate the profit. Also, I find the clear approach on the regulations of taxations being applied in Australia. And this is the final of my presentation. Thank you.